Welcome to day 49 on the AT. We are still at the shelter, as you can see. It is raining. It's rained pretty much all night. According to the radar, it looks like it's going to be raining until about 11. So it's almost 9:30 right now. So we really haven't gotten much done. We're getting some oatmeal made and slept in a little bit because of the rain. But we'll get back on trail in just a little bit. Hopefully not get too wet today. Notice we are bundled up because the weather's temperature has dropped. It's about 50 degrees. Yesterday when we got up it was 71. So it's a pretty big temperature drop. But we did get some sleep and there was no snakes in the shelter last night. So that's a yay, thumbs up. Reptile is over there making something. But kind of a dreary day to start. It's supposed to, the rain is at least supposed to clear out in a couple hours. So we'll get back on trail. Hello, we're on trail on day 49. We decided to leave the shelter about 10:30 and we're fully rain geared up. Reptile, I told him he looked like a big blue peanut M&M. He told me that was a fat joke. But doesn't he look like a peanut M&M? I think he does. I got my rain jacket on and my pack cover on. And just want to show you how green it is. We are still walking with a small rock bluff over there. And then to the left side of the trail, it just goes down the ridge. So, but it is very, very green. It might be about 55. I haven't checked the thermometer since we've left shelter, but warmed up a tad, and we still got some really gray, cloudy skies, but it looked like the rain should be out of here by 11, and we really haven't had any major downpours, just sprinkles and then everything that's coming off the trees. So we were the only two in the shelter last night. The snakes were gone. I didn't have any mice, so it was a pretty good night's sleep actually until it got cold. But up in the camping area, the shelter was 0.3 off the trail. So we walked half a mile this morning before we got back on trail. I see peoples. But they said that the camping area was so full that there wasn't a place to put a tent. And a lady came down to get out of the rain this morning, and she was talking about how their tent was on such a slant that it filled up with water. So, good thing we did have the shelter. But it is absolutely green out here. Alright. So, treadway looks pretty rocky and flat still. Once we got back to the ridge from the 0.3 out of the shelter. Reptile went and got water this morning, which was flowing a lot better since it rained, and we jumped on trail. But the camp area at the shelter was up the hill, and despite it just being, I guess, overpacked last night, we didn't go up to look. But the weekenders that were there when we walked into the camp had so to explain it, there was a road that went down the hill past the shelter and it led to a parking area. So I guess that's where they parked and walked up instead of being on trail. No big deal, but they left so much trash. They had, I don't know if they thought they were leaving trail magic for hikers, but there was Snapples, there was Hershey Kisses, Rice Krispie Treats, a bag of trail mix, a bag of what I assumed was dried cranberries. They left an empty fuel tank, an entire metal pan in the fire pit. The fire was still smoldering. They did not put it out very well. With the rain, I mean, that's not too much of a fire risk, but nonetheless, it looks like they just tossed the coals and threw shit on top of it. There was a jug, like a gallon water jug in the fire pit, and I don't know what else. Then there was a whole bunch of kids on trail yesterday, so we found 4 pieces of gum on trail that I just, no, these are, must not have taken no leave no trace class, because they are leaving trace everywhere. But we did snack out. Our Rice Krispie treat. Eldon grabbed a Snapple and the Hershey Kisses. So there was still a bunch left if any other hikers come in tonight to that shelter. But it is supposed to drop into the 50s today, which is a far cry from 85 that we had yesterday. Tonight, it's supposed to drop down into the upper 30s, I believe. And then Monday, it's supposed to be, I think, about 50 for the daytime and about 30 for the nighttime. So we'll definitely try to make it to the next shelter for Monday night's sleep time, because 30 degrees, no matter if you're at 2,000 foot elevation or 5,000 foot elevation, is cold. More people coming. I try not to film people without their knowledge. So I will talk to you guys later. We took a pause to take some rain gear off and to get some water. It's noon, and so far we haven't had any more rain, just what's coming off the trees, but it's quite windy. So I'm going to leave the hood up for a minute to cover my ears. But trail's been pretty much the same. It's all rocks. But it's been pretty flat. We do have a lookout coming up in the next, I think it's like a mile. So we'll see how much climbing we have to get up to that lookout. And we'll take some pictures when we get there. Grab my poles, and we're getting ready to get back on trail. See you down trail. Reptile found an Ewok from Star Wars. You see it? Alright, so we made it to Rocky Run Shelter. And I want to show you a couple things. This here is the bear box. And above it is the privy. I don't know if I showed you guys a privy or not. I can't remember. But, oh, no, that's not the bear box. That is just tools for the trail maintainers. So we've seen that a couple times. Here in Maryland especially. But this is a privy. It is raised. Everything goes below. You add wood chips or leaves or some sort of natural source to it, and it helps the decomposition of human waste. And that is what it looks like. So there's a trash can in there that has wood chips, and you throw wood chips in after you go to the bathroom. There is no door on this privy. It's just facing away from the shelter and facing away from the trail. So, alright, it's my turn to go potty. It's the end of day 49 on the AT. We are in the tent. We made it to Dahlgren Campground. It's a backpackers campground just right off the AT. They have a porta potty and some water here. They also have picnic tables with tent pads. The actual restroom building is not unlocked yet, but they do have showers and supposedly electric when the building is unlocked. But we were able to order a pizza from Boonesboro and had that for dinner. It was a very large pizza. My stomach is like, what did you put in me? Because I'm not used to eating that much food. Reptiles over there getting all cozy and ready for the cold, because it is supposed to be about 38, I think, tonight, 39, something like that. We have about a 30% chance of rain. Don't know when that's going to come in. And then there's about a 30% chance of rain all day tomorrow as well. So it's already been very windy today. It's supposed to be, I'm sure, windy overnight. So we're getting comfy and going to lay down. It's still pretty early, but I am pretty tired. Oh, I took my shoes off to put my Crocs on to go out to the porta potty, and my feet are absolutely killing me. And all I could think is it's got to be the rocks. There were so many rocks today. Would you agree?
Rocksylvania, my ass. Like Rocks, Maryland.
Yeah. Pennsylvania's nickname is Rocksylvania, but I think the rocks start well before Pennsylvania. Very, very rocky today, but not very much elevation gain or descent. It was pretty well just walking the ridge and the little dips and the inclines that the ridge had. We walked past Rocky Run Shelter. We stopped there for the privy break, and then we continued on another like 1.2 to this Dahlgren backpackers campsite. So if you are on the AT and you want a free place to hang out for a night that's not in a shelter, this campground is probably a pretty good one. It's right across from the Washington Monument State Park here in Maryland, and you can get pizza delivered. So pretty good night. Blessing is having pizza delivered and not eating out of a bag. Challenge was probably the rocks and just staying on trail and dealing with all the aches and pains of it. But we'll see you tomorrow.